ABC News with Stephanie Richards. Good evening. In the world of sports, Queen Bees have finished their stellar 7-month season, unfortunately coming 8th on the overall ladder, but thankfully beating Adelaide University and BOSWSC, who took out the bottom 2 spots. Let's take a look back on the season as it was, the highs, lows and everything in between. Early mornings were a low for the season, including a brutal 9 a.m. kickoff at Stirling midwinter. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances involving too much alcohol consumption by a player or two the night prior, the Bees were left with 0 substitutes or linesmen, resulting in Jared both coaching and running lines during the game. To our sources, Stirling were just as hopeless, having failed to organise a referee, so their club CE and resident doctor had to step in and referee for the first time. This surprising addition came in handy for the Bees, as having a doctor on hand helped when Took almost broke her hand during a nasty clash playing in goals during the second half. In other news, the season became a treasure trove of lost items, not just drink bottles, shin pads or jumpers, but also a few dignities after some wild Saturday nights. Finding the correct match pitch was just as elusive as Jared's attention span during most games. He was often prone to sideline chatter until someone set him straight to turn around to focus on the game at hand. But this was quite intentional due to some members of the team completely ignoring their coach at literally all other times. Perhaps his end-of-season gift should have been a megaphone to rightfully command the respect of his team. It's a tough job being the coach when nobody listens. We'll have more analysis on this later in the program. In health news, health officials were seen closely monitoring team injuries throughout the season. Concerns had been raised about volunteering players to the Bees for fear of further injuries. News sources say Chelsea broke an ankle very early on in the season during a game she selflessly volunteered to fill in for. Her Bees teammates were devastated for her unfortunate fracture, and they wish her the best of luck for next season. In similar fashion, Took gave it her all for 3 whole weeks of training and games with a broken foot, completely unaware of the fracture hidden underneath her boot. What a trooper. In a heartwarming story, all teams had a few weeks off mid-season to enjoy a well-deserved break to focus on the FIFA Women's World Cup. Unfortunately, the Aussie Matildas were unable to win the overall cup. However, they showcased the resilience of the human spirit and gave it a bloody good crack. We'll share this touching tale later in the program. The Bees managed to end the season on a high note with 2 thrilling 4-point game wins against Adelaide Uni and BOSWSC on back-to-back weekends, leaving fans questioning where this effort had come from after such a poor win percentage. A huge kudos to Emma Shear for becoming assistant coach midway through the season. Of course, we can't forget the confused, or was it comic relief, provided by Jared's bewildering training drills that left a lot of the team scratching their heads. Despite the stats and Bees ranking on the ladder, Coach Jared insisted that almost every half they played was the best half they'd played all season.
This was the best half ever.
The best half ever. You should be proud of yourselves, girls.
And for our local community viewers, now it's time for some teammate shout-outs. Zarina and Gemma became masters at being fashionably late all season. Leash decided to join the Bees halfway through the season after successfully becoming a police officer. Esther O made a triumphant return from Germany, and Talia, Alice and Maddie Close were recruited to play for the A's following their fantastic performances in the Bees. Well done, ladies. Let's also give a warm welcome to our new players this season, Rosie, Ali and Diana. Special shout-outs to our guest players, Joanna and Nadia, for their spectacular goal-scoring abilities in the final game against Adelaide Uni. In the grand scheme of things, the season statistics might not look like much. 4 wins, 14 losses, 2 draws and 1 washout. But for the Queen Bees, the season was full of laughs, skill and fitness development, as well as moments of both forgettable and unforgettable moments on and off the pitch. That's a wrap on today's stories. Join us tomorrow night as we uncover the horror stories of the Pembroke Queen's training facilities and club rooms. I'm Steph Richards. This is ABC News. Good night.